Alright, so when it comes to late night, quick and easy meals, chicken and rice is a very popular thing that people go to, especially for dieting, working out. And honestly, chicken and rice is a great way to go, but a lot of people just make it chicken, salt and pepper, and basic white rice. So today I'm going to show you guys a really easy way to make super simple but incredibly delicious chicken and rice. Now the way we're going to elevate our chicken and rice today is we're going to marinate that chicken in a nice Greek yogurt. This is my personal favorite way to marinate chicken lately. We're going to elevate that rice with a nice tomato and chicken bouillon. It's going to add a really great color and flavor to our rice. Going to round it all off perfectly with a nice tomato, cucumber, and red onion salad. Going to round everything out perfectly and it's going to be absolutely delicious. So this recipe is going to start out with our marinade, and for this I'm going to use some super thin chicken cutlets, and into our bowl is going to be about 3 spoonfuls of non-fat Greek yogurt and about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, along with about a tablespoon each of cayenne pepper and paprika. After that, we're going to continue with the seasoning and add a couple pinches of salt and plenty of freshly cracked black pepper. We just harvested our garlic for this year, and I'm going to throw about 3 cloves of that into here. You can go ahead and just mince these up with your knife if you'd like, but I just crushed them up a little bit, peeled them, and then used a garlic brush. Now I personally really love fresh herbs in my marinades, so for this one, I'm going to go ahead and add in some rosemary and thyme. For both of these, you want to go ahead and run your fingers along those branches to get all those leaves off. You don't want those branches in there, they get a little bit rough. This is a little bit easier with rosemary than thyme, but once those leaves are off, you're all good to finally chop them and throw them into our marinade. Now the last thing we're going to throw in there is the juice of 1 whole lemon. To juice these, I cut them in half, squeeze them over my hand, and leave enough room between my fingers for the juice to go through, but not the seeds. You want to go ahead and give this all a nice massage, and I'm going to go ahead and leave these in there to marinate for at least an hour. Now while our chicken's marinating, we're going to go ahead and work on our salad. We're going to start out with tomatoes. I just went ahead and roughly dice these. You can go ahead and take the seeds out if you'd like to, but I personally didn't bother. That's something I'd only do for something like pico de gallo, where I don't want it to be too liquidy, but not for something like this. Unfortunately, our tomatoes from the garden aren't ready yet, but our cucumbers are, so this one is from our garden here. I'm just going to dice this up to a similar size from our tomato, and then we're going to throw that into our bowl as well. Now we're going to be off to cutting up our onion. Okay, now I've been asked plenty of times on how to cut an onion, so I'm going to show you guys how I personally do it. What I'll do is I'll cut it in half, and I'll remove the top part, but I'm going to leave that root end for something to grab onto while we're cutting. Now I'll cut vertically up the onion as you see here, as fine as you want the dice to be before putting one cut down the middle, before turning the onion and cutting horizontally to get that perfect dice every single time. Now the next thing we're going to add into our salad is my personal favorite herb. This is some fresh dill. Now for fresh dill, just like thyme and rosemary, you want to take it off of those stems, and then we're going to go ahead and get those chopped up and throw it into our bowl as well. Going to season this up with some salt and a little bit of freshly cracked pepper. Then we're going to finish this up with olive oil and a little bit of red wine vinegar as well for our sauce. Get this nice and tossed up, and just like that, our salad's done. Now the next thing we're going to work on once our salad's nice and fully incorporated is our rice. Now I used about 2 cups of rice for this recipe, so you're going to need about 2 cups of water as well. Now this is a really delicious tomato and chicken bouillon. Whenever you're working with a bouillon, you want to follow whatever your package instructions said. Mine said about 1 teaspoon per cup of water. Now we're going to throw our rice and that liquid into our rice cooker, close that lid up and hit play, and we're ready to go. Now once our rice is cooking and our salad is done, we're all ready to cook up our chicken here. I put some olive oil into a high heat pan. Now these are really thin chicken cutlets. These are going to cook really fast. I only did about 1 minute on each side, and once that was out, I got those on a paper plate. And now we're ready to plate up once our rice is done, okay? Open that up. You're going to take a wooden spoon to fluff your rice. You want to just kind of run it through. You're going to have really beautiful, perfect rice with a beautiful color as well. Now to get this plated up, we're going to go down really simply with a beautiful bed of that rice before cutting our chicken into some nice strips. I'm going to get this onto my knife and put that right on top of that bed of rice before we go on to our salad here. You want to go ahead and really generously put that salad on there. It really makes this super delicious before throwing on some homemade hot sauce as well. I'll be sure to have a video posted for that one soon, don't you worry. Now of course, we're going to garnish this up with a little bit of freshly chopped parsley, and just like that, we're ready to try out our incredibly delicious looking chicken and rice. Alright guys, there you have it. We're going to get a little bit of rice, onion, and tomato. Make sure we got everything on this bite, and cheers everybody. Oh wow. So the rice is subtle enough that you still taste it, but it doesn't overpower that really good marinade we put on that chicken. Hot sauce is obviously fantastic. I'll have a video drop for that a little bit later. I think the tomato, the onion, and the cucumber really brings this together perfectly. It makes it nice and fresh. This is a great one to have if you don't want your chicken and rice to be bland anymore. And there you have it, guys. We got yet another one down. Tonight I showed you guys how to make some really delicious chicken and rice that isn't as bland and as boring as all those Tinder matches you've been getting lately. It's really quick and easy, so it's good for those late nights, good for your kids if you're working out, whatever you'd like. It's really delicious. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you try it out. If you're new here, maybe go ahead and drop a sub if you feel like it. And if not, I'll see you later. See you guys in the next one, and have a great rest of your day.